Hi everyone. Hope everyone's having an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. Today I wanted to go over my motovlogging setup and a quick review of my helmet. When I was first getting into motovlogging about 6 months ago or so, I had really no clue of how to do it, what equipment to buy, how to set it up, how to do anything. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've been watching YouTube videos of you guys that I subscribe to, and I thought, wow, this is great. This photography is great. The videos are great. The sound is good. And, this must be really difficult. And so I started researching, the various cameras and setups, and it took a lot of time, and I got a lot of advice from a lot of people, but it's not that difficult once you kind of get the basics. And I just want to very quickly go over the basics of my setup, show you the camera, how I've got it mounted and how I do it. Maybe it'll be some of help to you if you're thinking about getting into motovlogging. If you are an experienced motovlogger, you're probably not going to learn very much, but you'll just see what my setup is. Anyway, first of all, let me show you my helmet. This is an Arai Signet Q. This one comes in the black frost. It's got some American flag decals on it. Pretty expensive helmet. I would recommend that you buy the best helmet that you can afford. Obviously, the helmet's your most important piece of safety gear. This is a full face helmet. Good for motovlogging. This is a very comfortable helmet for me. It's actually my second helmet. The first helmet I bought was a Shoei Quest, another great comfortable helmet, but I bought it too big. I bought it in an extra large. It was too big, and after a while I realized it really wasn't safe being so loose. So I bought this Arai in a large, changed out the cheek pads, and once I did that, very comfortable. It's got good vents, as you can see. Air flows through it pretty nice. It gets warm in the summer, but I can really seriously wear this helmet all day long, and it's very comfortable. Visor swap out. This is the dark smoke visor I've got. I've got a clear visor as well. The visors don't swap out quite as easily as they say they do. It takes me a little bit of time to get them swapped out, but not too hard once you get the hang of it. But a great helmet. Another thing too, I'll show you really quickly. It's got the DOT and the SNIL rating. Those are safety ratings, and I just won't go into the details of those, but it's just important that you at least have the DOT rating, and any other ratings you get, the European rating or the SNIL rating, I think is a plus. Before I tell you the camera, I've got a Bluetooth communicator on here. This I bought. This is fairly inexpensive from Cycle Gear. It's called UClear. It's got a boomless mic, so there's no microphone, and I use it to get GPS directions off my phone and listen to music sometimes. Not a really high-end unit, but it sounds pretty good, and it works well for me. I'm really thinking about upgrading to the Senna so I can, communicate with some other riders. But for now, this is good. I've got the camera mounted on the side here, as you can see. Let me just take it off of the side helmet mount that I've got, which I'll talk about in a second. And it just has a little thumb screw. It comes right off. This particular camera I have, the microphone plugs into the back. But this is the Sony HDR AS300 action cam. As you can see, it's very low profile. I've got a little lens protector here on the front that pops off, but I figured going down the road, protecting this lens is probably a good idea. So it's a very small camera, fits very low profile on the side of the helmet. I like that. It records in 1080p, 60 frames per second, and that was kind of the minimum that I wanted. I wanted a camera that would record in 1080p, 60 frames per second. It'll also record in 1080p, 30 frames per second, or 720p. I'm not really sure you can tell the difference between a 720p and a 1080p video on a computer screen, but I wanted to get the best that I could get. The menus are fairly easy. You press the button, various menus you go through to set the resolution, the sound, all kinds of different settings. It takes a little while to go through it, but it's not that hard. The camera itself is about $300. If you buy it as part of a package with some accessories like I did, you're probably going to spend closer to $400, maybe even a little bit more now. And I'll show you some screenshots on my computer in a second of all the things that I bought. But let me just go over a couple of the accessories that I bought that I think really make it would be critical for motovlogging. Number one is to have some sort of remote access to the camera, remote control for the camera. Sony has this little unit they call a live view remote. It's got a little screen. You can actually see what's on the camera, and you can turn the camera on and off. You can turn the recording on and off using this. They sell a little wristwatch. You can wear it on your wrist as a wristwatch. I have it mounted on my handlebars. You'll see in my videos in the very center of my handlebars, you'll see this live view remote. And basically it connects to the camera by Bluetooth, and you can control the camera. So when you turn the power on, you can see the camera just beeped. It's turning on, and it'll connect to the camera. It'll take a second to connect by Bluetooth, and then when it does, you'll be able to actually see whatever the camera's seeing. You can actually see here now, and you can see the blue light's on. That means the camera's on. You just press this red button, and now you're recording. And so I'm going down the road. I see the red button. I know I'm recording. Very easy to use. You can also, change the settings to whatever you want to on the camera. I think what's good about it is, if you're going down the road, or even if you're sitting someplace on your motorcycle, you don't have to be reaching back and taking your camera off to fool around with it. You can do really all you need to do with this remote. The package I bought also comes with this waterproof case in case you want to do any scuba diving or underwater. Not really useful to me, but I've got it anyway. And then the package I had a few other accessories. But again, it mounts to the camera. The camera mounts to the helmet very easily. This helmet mount that I've got, as you can see, is pretty big, but it's very easy to attach the camera to, and the camera's got a lot of adjustability up and down, left and right. This is an actual a Sony helmet mount. The package that I bought came with some generic mounts that really didn't work out very well, and so this is a Sony mount. Went on the helmet very easily. I like it, and it works very well. So that's really it. The critical thing when you get your camera mounted, whether you've got it on top of the helmet or on the side, is just get it adjusted so the field of view is right. I've had some videos where I've had it too far pointed towards the helmet, and you have a big portion of your helmet that's in the screen. So, I get it pointed so the helmet's not in the picture, and pointed straight ahead, and it just takes some practice, and that's all motovlogging is to get good at it. It takes practice, and I'm still sort of a novice at it. I'm still learning, but it's great fun. It's a great hobby. I've enjoyed meeting the guys online in the motovlogging community. I'm looking forward to the Hootenanny this summer. We'll actually get to meet some of them in person. But that's it. I'm going to show you some screenshots of the equipment that I bought, so you can just see some model numbers. Maybe that'll be some help to you. And then we're going to take it out for a ride. You can see what the picture's like. Okay, I'm going to show you some screenshots off my computer of the package I bought. And this is the exact package that I did purchase that has the camera and the various accessories that I was showing you. Again, I bought it off of Amazon. As you can see today, it's $450. When I bought it, it was right at $400 back in December of 2016. The prices are going to fluctuate, but it's a nice package. It comes with a waterproof case, the live view remote, the little bag, an extra battery, a micro SD card. I would suggest you get a faster, bigger micro SD card for it if you're going to be recording videos of any particular length. But this was a nice package. You can see I got it off of Amazon. It came very quickly, and I like it a lot. One of the things that did not come with it that you'll need is the Sony microphone or any kind of microphone. I bought the Sony omnidirectional stereo microphone. As you can see here, it's Sony ECM CS3 is the model number. Very good microphone, very good sound quality. It comes with about a 4-foot cord. And you can see I had it Velcroed into my helmet to stabilize it, and then the cord just threads through the helmet and plugs right into the back of your camera. No need for any kind of adapter at all. This was about $20, not an expensive thing at all. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was the actual helmet mount. This is the Sony side mount for the Sony Action Cam. You have to put it together. It comes in some pieces, but it's very easy. The adhesive is very good. I like the little safety tether that comes with it. The camera just mounts, it goes on and off with a little thumb screw very easily. And there's a lot of adjustment in this mount for the camera, either up or down or back and forth horizontally. So these are the packages that I bought. I did everything on Amazon. A great way to shop. And when it was all said and done, I probably spent, I don't know, $450, $500 to get everything set up. And that's it. Just getting back to the camera package itself. This is the package I bought. You can buy the camera just by itself for, I think, $100 less than this, but I would really recommend at least the live view remote if you're going to do any kind of motovlogging. Well, that's it. I hope this has been of some help to you. Let's go out and take it for a ride and see what the picture looks like.
Hello everyone, Georgia Rambler Man here. It's Sunday, May the 29th, 2017. Actually Monday, May the 29th, 2017. It's Memorial Day, and I'm out for a morning ride. I hope you enjoyed the first part of this video, which was my motovlog setup. Hope it gave you some good information if you're looking to get into that. Thought I'd give you a little taste of the camera now and see how it operates. Right now I'm cruising through the little small town of Ball Ground, Georgia, which is known for having a old Atlanta city bus that's now a hamburger stand. Nice little small southern town, one of my favorite rides that I take from my house in Alpharetta up to Ball Ground. It's on Highway 372 pretty much. Goes past a lot of open country, horse farms. Just a nice scenic ride, and usually not very crowded. Today I'm not so sure, but Memorial Day, people out and about. Decided to break out my high-vis gear today. I've got a high visibility jacket, as you can see, that I have. I don't wear it all that often. It's a mesh jacket, but it's pretty heavy duty, and in the summertime it's pretty warm. I have another mesh jacket that's much lighter. That's a little cooler, but I tend to wear more than this. But this one definitely will give me some visibility, no doubt about that. I've got a black motorcycle and black helmet, so I figure this high visibility vest is a good thing. Anyway, just to let you know, as I mentioned on my camera, I've got several different settings that I can record in. I'm recording in 1080p 60 frames per second, which is just about the highest resolution you can get on this particular camera. I think there's one more. Sony actually sells a camera similar to the one that I have that's much more expensive that will record in 4K, and I don't know how many people even have 4K televisions, and I don't know if you could tell the difference looking at a 4K video on a computer screen versus a 1080p or even a 720p. And I know the file size would be huge. Even these 1080p 60 frame per second videos that I normally record in take quite a bit of time to upload to YouTube. It's a pretty big file, and it takes a while, but I like to record in the 1080p. I think that's a good resolution. I know a lot of times when I'm watching YouTube, I don't know if it's just the bandwidth or the usage of the computers in my house or whatever, but I'll click on a video and I'll start looking. I know it's recorded in 1080p, and it'll be somewhat fuzzy and blurry, and I'll see that it's only playing back in like 480 or 360 or some really low resolution, and I click it over to 1080p, and it just, loads and loads and won't play because I guess of the amount of computer usage going on in my family. I'm not sure of the bandwidth. Not that much of a computer expert to know that. Anyway, as I mentioned, this camera also has the GPS feature. It'll show the little speedometer down at the bottom of the screen and my elapsed time and a little route. I don't have that on this video, but if you're interested in that, I have several videos on my channel that you can go and search that I do have it on. I like that in some ways. In some ways it's a little distracting. I kind of like to have the full field of view here like we've got here today. But this is a beautiful road out in the country. It's an area where the Cherokee Indians lived at one time. In fact, part of this route that I'm on today is actually part of the old Trail of Tears that's marked in many places around North Georgia, but it's basically the route the white settlers forced the Indians, Cherokee Indians, to vacate their territory here in North Georgia and march out to Oklahoma. Pretty sad time in our history, but that's what happened. And they resettled in Oklahoma, and of course the white settlers took over this part of North Georgia. But you go along the rivers, and I grew up in Rome, Georgia for the most part. And there's 3 rivers there. There's 2 rivers that come together and form another. And if you go along those riverbanks, you can still find arrowheads and various Indian artifacts. And there are several places around North Georgia and Middle Georgia as well where they have Indian mounds, which are old Indian villages, and they built mounds for whatever reason, and they're historic sites today. There's a lot of history in this area. It's a great motorcycle riding area, and I wish this road wasn't so congested today with all the cars. I'm tooling along here probably about 45 miles an hour, but that's okay. You know, I saw a safety video this past weekend. I was looking through the YouTube, and there's a guy who has a channel. His name is MC Rider. He's a motorcycle instructor from the Dallas, Texas area. And he puts a lot of videos on about motorcycle safety, and they're really pretty good. A lot of the stuff is, you know, you've heard before. You know, being careful at intersections, you know, being careful going into turns, those kind of things. But one thing he had on this weekend I thought was really good. It just kind of thought, you know, that's something I need to pay attention to, was the following distance between you and the next car when you're out on a highway pretty much up at speed. You know, if you're in a car and all of a sudden there's an object in front of you like a tire tread or something off a truck, and you don't have time to swerve and miss it, and you run over, it's no really big deal. It might mess up the bottom of your car a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. Whereas on a motorcycle, it can cause a crash. So one of the things that he suggested, and I think it's a great idea, is when you're out on a highway and you're out on a road, and like this, keep at least 3 seconds between you and the car that you're following. So just look at the car ahead of you, watch it pass a marker, and then count 1001, 1002, 1003, and make sure you don't pass that same marker before that. And what that does, it gives you a safe following distance, and if all of a sudden that car in front of you swerves to miss something, you have time to react. And I've never really had that happen on a motorcycle, but I did have it happen in a car once where I was on an interstate highway, and it was a big tire tread off of a semi-truck that all of a sudden just appeared in the lane in front of me. And I glanced in my mirrors, and there was traffic on both sides of me, and I just kind of had to hold on to the steering wheel and run over that thing. And I was thinking, man, if I'd been on my motorcycle and I wouldn't have had time to react to swerve around that thing, it could have been a disaster. So I thought that's pretty good. If you ever get a chance to check him out, MC Rider is his channel. He has some good safety videos on there. Sometimes it's good just to refresh our memories on good, safe riding habits. I tell you, today I'm glad I've got my high vis on. There's a lot of traffic out, and Georgia State Patrol is out there today. I was coming out this way, and a guy in a souped up Dodge Charger passed me. I know he was going 80 miles an hour on its 2-lane road, and about a mile down the road, sure enough, Georgia State Patrol had that young man pulled over. So anyway, that's about it. Again, I hope you enjoyed the first part of the vlog with the setup on my Motovlogging. You know, for those of you who are just looking to get started in motovlogging and don't know anything about it, I mean, you're about where I was, 6 months ago. When I decided to get into this, I knew absolutely nothing. I knew there was GoPro. I'd heard of GoPro, and I knew they had lots of cameras. I had no idea what kind to buy, or if there's any other brands. And luckily my son helped me pick out this Sony action cam that I got. I like it. It has its pluses and minuses, but I like it a lot. And you know, just by watching other YouTube videos on various motovlogging setups, I was able to figure it all out. And then you just have to do it. You know, practice, practice, practice. I guess the thing I need probably the most practice on is the video editing. The camera that I bought, the Sony camera, it comes with a little editing software that I use. It's very easy, but you're kind of limited on what you can do as far as actually editing it. And so maybe I'll have to get some other type program someday to work with that. I really don't know how to put a lot of captions and credits and things like that on there, but you know, I'll get a program one day and figure all that good stuff out. But just get out and do it, and always remember, you know, when you're out riding, you're riding, and you got to be concentrating on riding and what you're doing. You can't be totally distracted with your motovlogging and your camera, so that you become a hazard on the road. That's one of the reasons I like this live view remote that I have here that I'm pointing to. As you can see, the little red light's on. I know it's recording. I push the button, and I can just turn the camera on and off. Right here from this remote, I don't have to reach back to the camera and try to do anything. And I think that's probably a critical thing to remember when it comes to motovlogging. But I'm still sort of a novice at this, but I really enjoy it. I've enjoyed the community of folks that I've met, and you know what I've learned from them, and just getting to know them online has been a lot of fun. So it's a great hobby. Thinking about doing it. I hope this video's helped you a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Memorial Day ride, and I hope today, sometime today, you know, amidst your picnics and cookouts, you'll stop and think about the soldiers and the sailors and airmen who died in wars recent and long ago, so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have today. Not something you take for granted. A lot of guys out there laid their life on the line and lost their life so we can live the freedoms that we have. And you know, one day out of the year, it's good to remember these guys and women who gave their lives. It's good to ride around today and see all the American flags out. Makes my heart feel good. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to get home before the rain comes in this afternoon. This is George Rambling Man. Everybody have a great week and ride safe.